What did you see from the defense, especially the cornerbacks on Saturday in the scrimmage? I believe you guys had two of the three interceptions, and Shaw had five tackles, and a few other guys were kind of up there in the tackle chart.
Well, you get guys competing. Defense, one thing we're trying to play off of is energy and playing together. So, a lot of things affected those interceptions. We had defensive line getting their hands up. We had linebackers dropping in the passing lanes, and we just took the opportunities that came to us, and the thing is we're trying to be more aggressive with the ball in the air, try to limit those big plays. And the corners did a great job of getting some of those turnovers, but ultimately it was a great team defensive day. And the thing is, these guys are playing together and they're starting to love playing with each other, which is even better, which is why you've seen some of that energy out there when guys celebrate and run on the field. Now, hopefully we don't do that on game day and get penalties. But the energy is great. They love playing with each other and they love the game. So I like where we're at right now.
We've heard a lot about Derrick Lane, Langford's improvement this offseason from Coach Dicker, and a few different players have kind of singled him out too. What have you seen from Derrick as far as improving and kind of being in a better spot this spring?
Accepting the challenge, man. He's maturing a ton during this offseason. He took the fine pinpointed answers that I gave him in his offseason evaluation as well. He's more committed. His body's looking different. He's running better. But Derrick Langford has always been a great athlete, right? And everyone knew that about Derrick Langford. But the thing is about him, he's really buying in, and he's got great ball skills and being able to get his hands on a lot of balls. And that's one of his best attributes is playing the ball in the air. And so for him, he's been in better position to be able to go make those plays later on. And I like the way he's maturing. I like the way he's growing. He's understanding the scheme a lot more. And that's all you can ask for with a kid that's that long and that athletic is to continue to have that buy-in. And Derrick Langford, he's a phenomenal kid. But more importantly, he really challenged himself in this offseason, getting better, doing extra reps, in the offseason and stuff like that. So he's putting in the work and it's playing out in practices.
And what do you see as the ceiling for Jalen Watson? He really kind of closed out last season strong with a good game against Utah, and then seems to have done a lot of work in the weight room and really kind of improved his body.
Yeah, well, he's really conscious of his body, which is why he makes sure his abs are right. But no, he's continuously improving as well. Maturity and growth is something that we're focusing on with him, being more detailed because he is such a good athlete. Just relying on his athleticism. I'm letting him know it's not going to cut it all the time. And so just trying to make sure he plays more technically sound, which saved his energy during the games, and then be able to go out there and make great plays. Yeah, he played pretty good in the last game of the season, but we need him to continue to improve and continue to work so that we can get him going in the right direction.
Is it going to be pretty hard for you guys to pick out two starters from kind of the 4 or 5 guys you have really competing out there with Jalen, George, Derrick, and Chris? Chris is in the mix now, and obviously Shaw has really improved too.
Well, yeah. These guys are not handed anything from me, and they know that. It's a constant battle, right? It all depends on how guys continue to develop over the summer and how they take fall camp. We're a long way away from game one. So to say a guy is clearly above someone else would be false. These guys got to continue to compete, right? And in games, we got to continue compete as well. But I like the fact that they're all competing and they all know that they want to be that guy out there on Saturdays. And the best part about it is, I'm starting to grow to where I trust a lot of those guys out there. And so for them, they know that the story is still unwritten for this group, and we have to continue to write more pages in it.
Thank you.
Again, if you have a question for Coach Richardson, please raise your hand and we'll call on you. Coach, next one's going to be Zach Armstrong from Cougs Fan. Go ahead, Zach.
Hey, Coach. So far this spring, what have you seen Chris Jackson do well in his first offseason in Pullman, and where do you think he still needs to improve the most?
Well, one thing I can say about Chris is that he's bought in immediately. And that's one thing you can appreciate with a guy that transferred in, right? Because there's always that new stage when getting to know one another and things like that. But we were honest in that process and recruiting him, and he's 100% bought in. He loves being around the guys. He's a great personality. So he's continuously being more of a piece, like he's been here forever for us. Athletically, he's a physical kid. He plays aggressive all the time, and just getting him to hone in on his skills on when I can and cannot be aggressive, right, and not get too gritty out there when the ball is in the air. So with him, he's a good athlete. You know, he has some experience underneath his belt, which is something that is always great at that position. He played in some big time games, and so for him coming in, he has another different element of maturity. But he's a great young man, and he's continuously improving. He's got good athleticism, and he's a physical guy. He's pushing those guys in the weight room as well because he's such a strong kid as well. And so he's got 100% bought in, which is number one, and number two, he's a good athlete. So we'll take it. He's also a great student too, by the way. He's got a good genes in the athletic realm, but also too academically. So he's a good all around kid, and he's doing a great job.
And Coach, sort of the same question, just about Jamal McMurray, a guy Coug fans have seen do good things on special teams. Just where does he sort of mix in the cornerback realm, and what are you seeing from him this spring?
Jamal is playing in clutch situations out there on Saturday. He's playing in clutch situations and scrimmages. He goes in there against the ones as well. I mean, he's developing continuously, and that's the thing with him is Maul knows he has to continue to grow and mature in the defense and in the package. And he's starting to get his feet wet a little bit at the corner position, just being locked into that spot continuously. So just improving his technique, improving the details of him. I mean, he's been blessed with great speed, right? I mean, the kid can flat out run, which is what you see in special teams. But the thing is, everybody has stepping stones and a role on the team, and he's accepted that, and he's continued pushing. But he's pushing those guys to get in that rotation. You know, so for him, he wants to be out there and he wants to compete, and he's got reps with the ones. Man, I'm trying to see who's going to end up being that guy and take reins of it.
And how much do you think your group's sort of growth this spring comes from the bigger wide receivers they're facing against every day in practice? Guys like CJ Moore and DeJon Stribling and Donovan Ollie out there. Just what does that sort of do to test your group?
Man, great athleticism and physical kids on the outside, right? Which kind of matches up to what we see out there during the season. We like the way that CJ's come in here. I mean, his catch radius is ridiculous. Right, we got Calvin Jackson out there who made some clutch catches out there on Saturday in the spring game. You know, we got Stribling who's strong and aggressive off the line. I mean, those guys bring a completely different, and they're all unique as well, right? And so with those guys, they bring different aspects. We got to continue improving our technique. But, I mean, we love the length. We love the athleticism, and we're going to compete every single day out there. They push us. They get us some days, and they let us know. And when we win some days, we try to let them know too. It's all brotherly love, but it's great competition out there.
Thank you.
All right,
Thank you.
Sorry, Coach. We have time for one more. Go ahead, Theo. Last one.
Yeah, I had a recruiting question for you. What was kind of the reaction from the staff to hearing about the dead period ending on June 1st, and what's kind of been the response from the players you guys are recruiting that now have a chance to come up and see this place in person and not on a Zoom screen anymore?
Well, we're no longer recruiting blind. I mean, it was a unique year this year. We took all these guys without seeing them, without getting to meet them face to face, which is unique, right? When we all know the importance of in-home visits, right? We have families who need to get to know coaches, but more importantly for us, being able to get these kids out there live and in action, see them in their element, right? How do they compete, right? Getting out, you know, to all these different places where we have plans to do is going to be great for us to see honest evals in person. And these kids are excited to get out and compete as well at camps and stuff like that. So we're excited. I mean, we're ready to get out of here just like they are, you know, so it's an exciting time. You know, we definitely are going to be aggressive on the road and continue to get to know these young men. But put it this way, it's like a Christmas Day when we heard that it's uplifted, man. We're very excited about it all.
It's been the benefit of having a director of transfer recruiting with Joshua Murray. And does it kind of ease your guys' jobs with maybe checking the portal less because you have someone who can spend most of his day doing that kind of thing now?
Well, it shows Rolo's leadership and his vision, right, to even put that in place that quickly. You know, and we took off from there. It's been great to be able to get those names quickly and be able to evaluate some kids and things like that. We're definitely looking and things like that. But it's been a great addition. Never seen anything like it, but we never heard of a transfer portal before either. So this is a great, unique experience. It gives some kids great opportunities. You know, other kids, you know, hopefully everything works out for all those kids. But it's definitely a unique time. We're just trying to take advantage of the opportunities that are given.
Thank you.
You guys got two of the GOATs coming next. You got GOATs coming. We got nephew Archie in here and Dion the Beast. And nobody went to tackle on Saturday.